The war was supposed to be over before it even reached Earth's doorstep. At least, that's what the Galactic Empire had promised when they issued their ultimatum: submit or be destroyed. On paper, Earth's fleets were outmatched 1,000 to 1. Politicians folded, admirals surrendered. But not everyone. Commander Nathan Cade wasn't one for politics. He'd spent the last 15 years buried in Black Ops programs deep beneath the Nevada wastelands. No medals, no recognition, just classified files and unfinished prototypes. And the Valkyrie, his ship. It wasn't even supposed to fly. The brass had scrapped the project a year ago. Too unstable, too aggressive, too human. The AI was considered borderline psychotic, its weapon systems illegal under 3 separate galactic treaties. In the end, the Valkyrie had been left to rot in its underground cradle. Forgotten. But Cade never forgot. When the Empire's invasion fleet entered Sol space, blotting out the stars with their shimmering armada, Cade made a choice. He overrode the lockdown codes, forced a cold start ignition, and dragged the half-finished monster back to life. Now, as the Valkyrie cut silently through the dark, every console flickering red from the ship's raw, unstable core, Cade knew there was no going back. The rest of Earth had surrendered. The official fleets had been dismantled. No backup was coming. Didn't matter. He wasn't flying for Earth anymore. He was flying for himself, for the crew that had been reassigned, for the engineers who'd vanished when they protested the shutdown, for the girl who'd been executed when her father refused to hand over the ship's final schematics. He gritted his teeth as the first wave of Imperial cruisers came into view. Sleek, gold-hulled monstrosities, arrogant in their formation. The Empire thought it was an extermination mission. No need for caution, no need for strategy. Arrogance, their fatal mistake. "Targeting locked," the ship's voice whispered through the comms. The AI wasn't sane, but it was loyal. To him, Cade's fingers danced across the firing matrix. "No mercy." The first salvo was not a warning shot. 6 cruisers vaporized instantly, their shields ripped apart by weapons the Empire didn't even know humans had designed. Plasma beams lanced across the void, tearing holes through the Imperial formation. Alarms blared. Panicked chatter filled enemy channels. They hadn't expected resistance, certainly not from a ghost ship. More ships warped in, dozens, hundreds. It didn't matter. The Valkyrie was faster, meaner, and no longer bound by outdated treaties or committee oversight. Her AI adapted in real time, rewriting attack vectors, exploiting every blind spot. The body count climbed. Wreckage littered the black. An entire Imperial armada, crumbling under the guns of one forgotten warship. Cade's pulse thundered in his ears. This wasn't survival anymore. This was vengeance, for every human life the Empire had dismissed, for every coward in Earth's government who'd handed the planet over on a silver platter. A desperate transmission cut through the chaos, a message from the Imperial flagship. "Unknown vessel. Cease fire. Identify yourself. You are violating—" Cade keyed the comm open, voice cold. "I'm Commander Nathan Cade, and I'm not here to negotiate." And with that, he unleashed hell. The stars burned with debris. Chunks of twisted gold and blackened steel spun past the Valkyrie as she prowled through the wreckage field. Cade sat hunched in his command chair, eyes burning with focus, knuckles white on the armrests. The adrenaline hadn't faded. If anything, it was sharpening. On the holo display, the Imperial fleet's main formation had begun to fracture. What had started as a precise, arrogant blockade was now a chaotic scramble for survival. They hadn't just lost cruisers. They'd lost control. But Cade wasn't finished. The Valkyrie's AI pulsed through the ship's core like a living thing, her voice low and hungry. 78 enemy vessels remaining. Imperial flagship has repositioned behind outer ring, uploading new firing solutions. Cade leaned forward, eyes narrowing. Pursue, no survivors. This wasn't strategy anymore. This was butchery, and he meant every second of it. He thought of the message that had gone out 2 days ago, Earth's official surrender. A coward's transmission, sent by the Global Council as the Empire's fleet approached. No resistance, no bloodshed, just roll over and obey. But there had been bloodshed. The Empire didn't take peaceful submission. They took everything. Cities burned, dissidents executed, entire orbital colonies vented into space. His own brother, a systems engineer at the lunar shipyards, had been one of the first to vanish when the Empire seized control of Earth's military projects. No one even dared speak his name anymore. Cade clenched his jaw. Feed me their targeting data. The ship's interface lit up. Clusters of enemy ships pinged across the display, desperate formations spinning out of sync. They weren't used to losing. They weren't used to fear. But they were learning. Now the Valkyrie pivoted, thrusters burning hot, slicing through the debris cloud with inhuman agility. The ship was still unfinished. Only 70% of her systems had been fully tested. But that made her more dangerous, not less. No Imperial ship could predict what the prototype might do next. Another Imperial cruiser loomed ahead, its hull already scarred from glancing plasma hits. Too slow, too exposed. Engage. The railgun batteries fired in a blistering pulse, hyper-accelerated slugs punching through the cruiser's shields like wet paper. The enemy ship erupted in a cascade of flame and shattered metal, its spine snapping in half. Another kill. No hesitation. No remorse. A tremor rippled through the deck as a return salvo streaked past the Valkyrie's bow. Missed. Barely. The Imperial gunners were getting desperate now, throwing volume over precision. Cade's lips twisted into a grim smile. They're rattled. Keep pressure. But the AI's voice cut in sharply. Incoming hyperspace signature. Large mass, multiple drive signatures, Imperial reinforcements. Cade's blood went cold. Reinforcements. That meant one thing. The Empire was taking him seriously now. Good. About time. He punched in a scan command. The sensor array hummed, projecting the new contacts onto the tactical display. 27 additional warships, including 3 heavy dreadnoughts, the Empire's elite siege vessels, each one armed with enough firepower to flatten entire continents. The AI whispered again. Fleet estimates updated. Total enemy force now exceeds 100 vessels. Cade stared at the display. The numbers didn't matter. He wasn't going to run. He wasn't going to hide. Not now. He toggled ship-wide comms. All hands, battle stations. We've poked the nest. Time to burn it down. The Valkyrie was technically a one-man ship. The AI controlled most systems autonomously. But Cade had brought a skeleton crew of trusted veterans when he launched. People like him, forgotten, angry, with nothing left to lose.